Welcome back to the studio where today we're going to do a nice little unwind and collage with me. I got lots of lovely gifts for Christmas and I'm going to do my thank you cards today as collages, and I want them to be handmade as opposed to bought because I really love my gifts and I want people who made them to feel as seen as I feel. So what we're going to need is, I have 3 envelopes. I have 3 that I'm making for my sister, my aunt and uncle, and then my other aunt and uncle. Just like little stickies like this. I have a pack of 100. I use these all the time. I love the neutralness of the craft paper. Then I have 3 foldable cards. I also have a huge pack of these that I just pull from whenever, and they're actually bigger than these, but we're just gonna chop them. I like that they already have this crease. Chop them using this guy. And then we just have a bunch of different cutting tools. So different size scissors, and then of course this for little details. Don't know if we'll use it, but it's good to have. And then I have my little cutting pad. We are on a big cutting pad, but just for kind of ease. So I'll actually pop those there for now. Then we have the bone folder to smooth down the collage, which we'll get into. Trusty pencil, trusty hippo eraser, and a glue stick. I like the purple ones because you can see when it's dried and where the glue is, and they're nostalgic. And then this is newsprint, just so I don't get anything dirty. And then this is my collage paper. As you can see, I've used a lot where I put the debris on here so we, again, don't get messy. So that's what we're working with. Firstly, though, we're gonna cut these down, put on some nice John Lewis stamps, and then we're gonna go over to the collage drawer. So how we're gonna do this is I'm just gonna take one envelope and I'm going to put it here to see how big this needs to be. And it's gonna need to be a little smaller so that it fits in. So I'm going to make little marks on the edges like this. And then I'm going to just do that. Oh, they're here. I'm gonna do that for each one. And I kind of like the idea that maybe the people who receive these, my family, will collect them and save them. I know that I like to keep all the cards and notes I've ever received because, I don't know, I can just imagine one day I'll be able to read them all and I'll have like never-ending memories. So this will look like this, and then we're going to take our mini guillotine, and I want it to be a little bit smaller than this. So see how this is the edge? I'm gonna take it a little further out and I'm gonna press it up against this to get a straight edge. Boom, maybe some nice ASMR here. And then the same here. Oh, I wasn't pressing very hard. Yikes. Okay, then we just have a little mini version. Let's just double check that this fits before we go and do the rest. So I can eyeball them all about the same. Perfect, nice and snug. Okay. Gotta get it out now though. Maybe I do it a teeny tiny bit thinner because we don't want it to be tricky for our nice recipients. So just a little bit more. That feels better. So I'm gonna pop that to the side, put my scraps here, and then we'll just repeat the process. So a little more than I'd done before, kind of like that maybe. And then we cut off our other line, but we can line up this one. I think I'm actually gonna line it up exactly with that line there. And then I can keep it consistent, do that same thing next time too. So we'll go a little further on the side. And remember, with this kind of stuff, these are going to 3 different households in 3 different cities. They're not exactly comparing the exact size. So as long as they each work, they don't have to be perfect. So nice, I have these. We're done with this tool, we can pop that away, and then I'm gonna collect these scraps. I usually save scraps like this, but I have so many that I'm just gonna recycle them. So now let's stamp our envelopes because I find that part so fun. I have a nice stamp collection, but I'm thinking the John Lewis is the move today. Oh no, we have a little crinkle. That's okay. Top bit there. And then one more. Okay. Now I'm going to take one of these with me for size reference, and we're going to head over to my collage drawer. This collage drawer is at the bottom of my desk, and it's incredibly deep of clippings that I've had and added to and collected for years and years. And I guess I kept that in because I want to go there. All kinds of things. So words, I really love like historical pop culture images, all kinds of stuff. But what I'm going to do right now, oops, I don't like when they flip over like that though. I like when I can just sift through them. It's a cool one. Is I am going to keep in mind the 3 people that are receiving my thank you cards. And I'm going to try and find images that convey their vibe. Not literally, but more in terms of a feeling or colors. So I know my sister loves this color, actually. So I'm going to take some things as a short list. I think she'd like these too. And I'm going to put them over to the side. And I have this card with me because ultimately we're going to be cutting things down. I might, let's say, love this, but that's not going to fit. So I can always take a little part of it, but this is just kind of helpful to have for scale. So I'm going to set that beside me, and I'm going to keep sifting through, and I'll let you sift through with me for a bit, but don't worry, I won't keep you here too long. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's fun for you. I did see a comment of someone saying they would love to look through my paper drawer, so I've been here, actually. It's really nice. It's in Hawaii. I think, wait a minute. Oh, on the back too. Anyway, maybe this is fun for you. And sometimes it doesn't even need to be a collage. It can just be like one cute little room. Like this is calling to me in terms of my auntie, who got me loads of lovely, really nice presents. So I'm just going to look through. My auntie and that family love dogs, and so that could be a cute one. I like faces, all kinds of stuff. I have loads of Harvard football magazines. Don't ask why, but if you see that, just don't worry about it. This is kind of funny. I like all these things out of context too, because remember they were part of, oh, that's cool. They were part of articles, and now they are just random in my little drawer over here. My uncle got me a Vogue subscription for, we've already cut Beyonce out, for my birthday. So this is a combined birthday Christmas thank you card. And so I want to make him specifically a collage because I asked for that because I want to collage with it, of course. Oh, that's really cute. I like that. I'd only be able to cut out a tiny bit. Sometimes it's hard to know if I should cut open the image or not, but that is what it's here for. I just went to the Gunna show in LA and Wiz Khalifa came out, and this is the vibes for sure. It was really fun. He sang "See You Again." Now, there's no point in trying to think I'm going to get through all of this and find the exact perfect pieces. I'm more, oh, that's sweet. I'm more just going to look through this, whatever I happen to come across, get enough pictures to be able to make up my collages. Whoa. And then, oh, that's cool. And then go from there. I like that there's so many because I'll never really board. That's cute. That's Maine vibes. Gonna collect that. My aunt and uncle love art, so I'm thinking anything kind of arty could be fun. But I used to get so bogged down and like, well, I need to find the exact perfect images, and the gag is there usually aren't. There's so many ways we could collage, and so that would just take me way too long to go through everything, wouldn't it? My aunt and uncle live in New Hampshire for damn sure, so I can also look for some little New Hampshire vibes. This is pretty. So big though. Little Michael moment, important. So, there we go again. Oh my God, that's my friend Justice. I should send him a picture of that. That's cool. Again, at this stage, I don't have an idea, James Bond, of exactly what's going on because I don't have my idea yet. I just am kind of at the collecting stage. So my mind here can be really free and just like, I don't know, listen to my little intuition pulses and pick up stuff that I like the feeling of. That's very cute. I thought this was funny. I like taking out celebrities and kind of pop culture moments because they just, I have like magazines in here from 2016 and like, remember this ad? It's just so historical to me, not in a pretentious academic sense, but in a pop culture life sense. It's fun to see how the world evolves and what we find important. I find this chocolate cake very important, so that's going in the pile faux show. Oh, this is my mom's friend George, and he was in a magazine, so I cut him out. My sister might like that. Or Harvard football, that's also my friend. That's nice. I don't really need to annotate all these. Anyway, I'm gonna just look through them for a bit, listen to some music, and then we'll meet back over at my desk and I'll show you what I found. Obviously, I am back. Like this image, iconic. I don't know what this was from. Maybe a Vogue or something, but like, just so glad I have that. I don't know when exactly I'll use it, but one day I will, and it might be 10 years from now, but whatever it is, I'm gonna be thrilled that I kept it. I just know it. Also this, hilarious, pre-2023 obviously, or whenever that was. That didn't age so well. Like having these 3 TV shows in one image is just cool. I like multiple parts of an era coming together, so that's a good one too. Okay, I'm really gonna focus now. All right, we're now back at the workstation. I've had some fun rifling through my drawer, and I've made 3 piles. So this is for one aunt and uncle. This one is for my sister, and then this one is for my other aunt and uncle, and I think I have the biggest idea for theirs, so I'm gonna start there. And you know, the pieces can switch piles if they feel so inclined as we go. I don't really mind. So I'm just going to figure out what exactly is in frame. Okay, this. So I'll show you what we have. My aunt and uncle gave me a puzzle, and I love puzzles. So I thought maybe I could make their card a puzzle. So this idea just came to me as I was finding the pieces. So I was looking for things that had a nice pattern. And I also do like to take out pieces I've only used a bit of, just because I feel like I can use them again, you know. So these are kind of textury ones. So I'm just gonna lay this out. My cousin in that family lives in London, so I took that. And then they love nature. So I have some of those. Chocolate, desserts are very important in the family. Yeah, just gonna lay everything out so I can kind of see most of it. gonna grab one of these. And what I'm kind of thinking is having like a scene in the background. Wait, before we do this, we should stamp them. Hold on. I have my Lizzie stamp. And so I'm just gonna stamp the back of each card to show that I did, in fact, make it. Boop. And I'm just gonna see, is there a clear front and back? Not really. Get it in the ink, and then I kind of like roll it on, just eyeballing where it's gonna go. Doesn't need to be perfect. And this can dry as we do our pieces. Oh, that was a good one. Okay, so top back on, click. Anyone watch Friends? And then, okay, so I'm kind of thinking of having like a main picture here and then little puzzle pieces scattered around it in similar colors. So I'm gonna put that up while it's still wet. This could be a good one, but I wanna look at, I'm not gonna get everything in here. I mean, I could get like that. That's an option. Put that to the side. This is also cool. Using this to determine how wide it can be. The thing with this picture is I kind of like how it transitions from so far away to so close, so I don't actually really want to crop it. So I'm gonna put that to the other side. What else could be a good background image? Oh, this I was thinking is also too big. This doesn't really go with the vibe I was going, so that's gonna go in a maybe use for other things pile. So out of everything that I have, this is kind of cool too, but not quite right. This one seems to make sense as the background for our puzzle. So what I'm gonna do is figure out where I would like it to be. And I do wanna have some green and I wanna have some gray. So I'm just going to, I'm actually gonna line it up perfectly straight here. And, oh, that's gonna be too high. And I'm going to mark the top and the bottom with my little pencil. And then, oh, actually I'll use my paper cutter for this because it's kind of big. Can I even see the mark I made? Yes, there. Going to line that up, and then it's gonna need to be a tad smaller. So I'm gonna move it a little to the right. Hold down on these bits. Much smoother cut. Now this I can definitely keep for when I next need a texture that's doesn't have too much going on. Then we're going to move to the other side. Where on earth? There it is. So move it a little bit. Definitely can keep that. Like maybe I'll make a mosaic with green one time and this will be a green that I need, you know. So let's look back here for size. Okay, yes, perfect. So I just need, I'm trying to think if there's a side that I like better, that I don't mind. I think I'm gonna take off both sides, which is probably not the most efficient thing to be doing, but I'm doing this for fun, not to be in a time crunch. So let's go here, and let's go here. Am I gonna find that again? Like this. Now this piece, I probably don't need to keep. I mean, I could get into it and keep pieces like this, but I've got enough going on actually, I think. Okay, so then where's the other side? There it is. Line it up. So satisfying. Okay, I want to make it a little tiny bit smaller so that there's even distribution. Just need to do that on one side, maybe this one. So just like this. We do not need to keep that. Oops. It's not the first time that's happened. But hopefully if we glue it down right, you won't really notice. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna move that away, and then we're gonna take our glue pad and I'm gonna glue down the sides. So I'm going all the way over to the edges so it really sticks down, which is why I'm working on this other scrap paper, because I wouldn't want that to get on my desk. Then I can move this to the side, and then I'm gonna place this as best I can in the center. I think that looks pretty good. And then I'm gonna take my bone folder and take out all of the, I need to connect that a little better. Take out any little bubbles, make sure all the corners are down. This is just a nice way to do this that doesn't press it down. That means you don't get fingerprints around. Okay, so here is what the front of our card is looking like. I'm actually gonna crease this. This is really good for folding paper too. So it's more flat. How sweet, I love it. Okay. Now I wanna make some tiny little puzzle pieces. Definitely this guy. Put that, well, I like these patterns too. Maybe like just that corner. I kind of want to stay in around the same color work. I don't want to break up that image, so I'm going to put that away. This could be cool. I think maybe I'll just do 3. We have kind of joke about eggs, so I thought an egg could be funny. Put that in the maybe. And then this mountain I thought could be nice because there's a mountain, you know. And honestly, that's probably enough to work with. So these didn't quite make the cut. Oh, it could be nice to have a pop of yellow. But that is totally fine. Not everything makes the cut. That's super normal. So I'm just gonna collect these up. Collect these up, put them aside, and then I remember, actually that's kind of nice too, I like to put something on the inside too, and I feel like that could be cute. A little chocolatey moment, and then maybe put one of these flowers with it. That center one, is that too aggressive to use that for that? Well, I'm going to trim this down. Wasn't very straight. A little on the bottom too. Scraps. Just so it's totally not straight. Just so there's some intrigue on the inside too, I think would be cute. And then it is nice to take the outside onto the inside too. So maybe I put like, really just thinking aloud here. I think I'm gonna save this because they can be maybes. This one doesn't fit. It's gonna go in the back in the drawer pile, and then here is the maybe 2. Okay, so here's the pieces we have that can be pieces. I'm gonna cut this out. This is now a fresh piece back in the pile, and then I'm gonna do the same with this. Make that a bit cleaner though. Is this gonna work? There we go. And then that too. So this is what I'm working with piecewise. And I'm going to take a pencil, if the pencil works, and draw the outline of a puzzle piece on the back. I kind of want this side actually. So I'm kind of going to draw the rectangle of the piece, give this side a little bump, maybe this an in, and then this a bump too. Now, this is going to be really hard to see. Let's see if we can come in a little bit. I'll try and keep the focus on here. So it's always good to go a little bigger because I'm making this up. So there's kind of room for improvement. Maybe I go like this. We'll edit all this. Just hand cutting a puzzle over here. If you like hand cut puzzles, you should look out for Elm's puzzles because they're my favorite hand cut puzzles. And they're based in Maine, best place ever. Okay. And I'm not exactly trying to make a puzzle at all. I'm more just using the concept of a puzzle as an anchor for my design, and otherwise I'm just kind of playing. So let's cut out this curve, and then one on this side too. It would be cool if I made these pieces actually connect, but I don't really think that matters so much. I like these scissors because I can really get in there. I kind of wish I could nail file this, but that's not how it works. But again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, that's fine. This is a little pointy. All right. This, I know I'm crazy, but I can save. Boop. All right, so get rid of these scraps, and then we have our first little piece. You can kind of see through the pencil, which I don't love, but now I just know for next time. That could go like there maybe. Then I want to take a piece, I'm going to shimmy these over here. I'm going to take a piece of this mountain, so like this, and then this could also go back in the use later pile. I don't want this brown. I'm gonna get rid of that. And then I'm gonna do the same idea, but I think a different shaped piece. So this one, I'm gonna have 3 sides sticking out. And I'm just gonna make them up as I go. So like this, I'm cutting a little smaller because I need to make the pieces stick out. I hope this is focused. I'm not actually sure. I'm really sorry if it's not. Like this. And then we're gonna do the inside piece. That looks weird. Gonna redo that. Oh, a little horseshoe. That's cute. I like that, but I think this isn't quite shaped right. That's better. Okay, like that. And then I can fit in one more. An egg could be funny, but I also think it would hurt the vibes that I'm building. This color will be a nice addition. I like this. Whale shark, is it? So I'm gonna take it like this, and then that part I can save. What other shape should we do? We can do the opposite of this, so where they're all sticking in except one. So I'm gonna do the one sticking out over here. Then it would be a little thinner. So I'm gonna crop these edges. Goodbye. And then I think it would just go to about here. Again, no one's gonna be measuring these up to actual puzzle pieces, so it really doesn't matter as long as I get my point across. Another good puzzle company I love is Le Puz. They have great shaped pieces. There we go. Cute, I like that. Even the scraps look cute. Okay, let me not get sucked into everything that is happening right now. Do we want a yellow one as well? I don't know how exactly I would arrange. Yeah, I think actually that would be cool. I think this bottom corner where there's just a little bit of yellow is going to be the move. And this piece is pretty big compared to the others, so crop it down, make our boundary, and then we want yet another shape I think would be fun. So, Parmesan hair. So, I do 2 again, 2 and 2, but they're both on the same side. So we'll do our one on the inside. Oop, that was a little tiny. One on the inside. And then let's say this one, oh, we're gonna need to go lower. This can be the outside. Boom. Outside. Boom. Do I really need to annotate all the sounds? Guess so. Cute. I like how it's kind of oddly shaped. No offense. Now we're gonna have some real fun because we're going to use foam squares. Let's take it up a little bit. First I want to arrange, do I want the pieces on opposite colors like this? Or do I want them like in the place that they would be? So green, sky, land, blue. I think kind of like that. Before we do that though, because that's going to be 3D, well, I guess I'm going to have to redo that anyway. We're going to go inside and I'm going to do my design that's up here. So I want to put this nice chocolate oyster. And actually, looking at all of it, I think with the puzzle pieces on their colors, I like the brown on the brown, just as is. So I'm going to move those potential clippings over to the side, and I'm going to get my, and these clippings I can put in my palm and pop them in the recycling. Usually when I do this, I have a little receptacle for all these pieces so that I don't need to go back and forth to the trash, which is right here, so isn't far, but I mean, I do have to change levels. Anyway, whatever. Oh my God. So I'm gonna get my piece. What we did before is probably dry, but just to be safe, I'm gonna use a different area. Flip this over. Where is my glue stick? Here. And I'm gonna go along each edge. I like to go half on the clipping, half-ish on the paper. Do a little thing inside. You don't want any bits like that because then it makes it 3D in a bad way. Then I'm gonna find the middle, kind of there, and bone folder it down. Nice. And then I'll put my writing here, which I will do off camera. So let's go like this, and then let's put our pieces back. So what did we say? We had like this, this, and then as opposed to in a quadrant, I kind of want them staggered. So I think like that. That feels right, kind of balanced. So now, have you ever used a foam square? Because they're so fun. Is this focused? I'm gonna cry if it wasn't focused this whole time. And I'm not gonna find out because I'm not watching this, I'm doing it, so I just pray. So you take your piece and you stick on your little foam square like so. And then you're gonna peel off the back. It's kind of like a double-sided tape. And then we're gonna put it, and it's 3D. So we get a nice shadow cast. This is great for when similar colors are on top of each other because it gives them a little visual distance, which just makes the image look clearer. I use these all the time. There's this small size, and then there's also a bigger size. Sometimes it's not going to balance perfectly, and in this case, I like to put 2, just so it's not lopsided. And sometimes I even cut these down more if I have a really tiny piece, but they're not that easy to cut down. But I'm just saying you can if you feel so inclined. Like this, let's say. And then we have one more with our yellow. Okay, then here is our little puzzle thank you card. Note, Lizzie on the back. I'm gonna pop this into one of our envelopes just for safekeeping. Oop, careful. 1 down, 2 to go. All right, I wasn't planning to use foam squares for the other, so I'm gonna put those aside. And this can go over here. Got a lot going on the desk today. So we're gonna get another card. I think the clearest idea I have next is for my sisters. Now, my sister, I made as much as I could from her stocking, her favorite color, which is this like purpley pink kind of shade. She also loves fashion. This is the purpley pink shade. That's just great. Oh, the focus is so hard. That's just something she'd like. Then we have a rainbow, pink. I thought that was kind of cute. I don't know. The purple, so I was kind of looking for purples and pinks in other ways. We had fondue, so I thought that could be funny. It's kind of purpley. We went shopping. I thought that was a nice outfit. She loves skiing. I just thought that was funny too. Did a lot of cooking. More skiing. She has art all over her walls, so I thought she might resonate with this photo. This I now look at is too big because I kind of like the whole image, so I'm going to put that away. And then this, I love this image too, and I actually don't really want to cut him up, but that is that purple, so I'm going to put that to the side. And what I was kind of envisioning with this is like making a background with the purples and pinks, and then on the front I was kind of thinking of cutting up this section and having someone skiing across it. I think could be really cool. Where the bread plays in, not entirely sure. Maybe in here. Yes, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So we'll pop that out there, and then skiing will be redundant, so I can put this in my go back in the drawer pile. I feel like this is just very important. I really want to have that. I don't know if these two go with my vision anymore. Put them back. This could maybe go with the bread. And then these shoes, I just think she'd like, honestly. So, okay. Where's the front here? Let's cut out this skier. So I'm gonna cut along the slope. And that looks a little, well, let's actually do it as it is, and then we can always crop it. So I'm gonna just kind of loosely take the snow that's going behind this skier. Now the pole, I'm not even gonna try because it's just too thin. Know your limits. Then this can go back in the drawer. This is pretty loosely cut. Let's clean it up a little bit. Well, it's good actually. So this would be like this. I think that's nice. How does she fit in? I might have her walking like that inside. Yeah. So now I want a background. Oh, you know what we could have done actually? Is it this way? But I already did my stamp. Like, say we have our skier, and then we have her over the top. No, that feels cluttered. I kind of like my other idea. So, I thought this was cute with the little fish. That could be here. And then this background is fun. I'm gonna take out that lady. Oh no, we can see her. That feels a little too chaotic. Not the one. This is pretty. Bamboo situation. So imagine, just thinking out loud to myself as you've gathered, that could be kind of cool, but also without context, it might be like, what is going on? So what could work well is the rainbow. But then the fish look random. Unless it was simple and it was just this and the rainbow. I think not. I think that's more like it. So let's mark, I want this to go all the way to the edge, but then I want the inside collage not to. So this is the line, and then this is the line here. So let's take our paper cutter. Oh boy, where did I do that line? Don't see it. Oh, here's one. Okay. Keep. And then I have no idea. I guess right, I'm gonna do below the gold list and then see where we go from there. Keep. I know I don't want that much green, so I'm gonna take out this. And I'm gonna, because I don't know if the bottom is straight, I'm gonna line up with this line here. I don't need to keep that. Kind of like this like sneaky look into the house. This is not very straight. I must have cut it from something else. So I'm gonna go like that and hopefully even it out a little bit. Our skier. I like that. Okay, I want to crop, I'm gonna crop just below the line of this leaf. Kind of finding a visual is often more helpful than making a little pencil line, I guess. So kind of like that. And let's measure out. I want it to be a little disjointed, so I want that one to be higher. I like that. So now we're going to move everything else away. These ones that we're not going to use, I'll put in the go back pile. I'm gonna take my scrap piece and I want to look at where exactly this goes. Okay, I think I can eyeball that pretty well. It doesn't always go back exactly how you'd placed it, so it's just something to keep in mind. Otherwise you'll drive yourself crazy. You can get pretty close though. Just do a bunch stuff on the back. That's little, oop, number one rule, don't put your fingers in it because then you put it somewhere else. Okay, I'm thinking like that is sort of what we had. So the bone folder isn't necessary, but I do really like it. Smooth. Okay, then we're gonna do the same. Here. And I wanted this to be a little bit on top. That looks good. Perfect. Make sure you get all the little cornery bits. And then you can do some in the middle and you carefully pick it up. Oh God, I got glue from the last one on here. Exactly the purpose of what I'm trying not to do, but alas, it dries clear, luckily. Or as clear as can be. So my vision here, see it, and if you put too much, it'll come out the edges. But we just wipe it away. Yeah, I kind of wanted this to be like, it's not real at all. It's just kind of mythical, and I just think it's a pretty picture, really. And then I'm going to flatten this. Quite sweet. Then we're going to go inside, and I like this bread. I'm going to prioritize saving that because she also had Brussels sprouts, and so I'm going to just crop that out, put that in my save for later pile. And then I want to make this straighter. Oops. kind of have a tendency to wave downward. And balance-wise, we do not need all this. Toodles. Perfect. Love it. Where is our girl with the cool outfit? Did I put her away? I think I might save this. It's the exact color of a coat that I got when we went shopping, and then she got a coat the color of the pants, so that's why I was so drawn to it. But I think it just might be pushing it in this situation. So let's just work on this. I'm gonna turn this around. Don't make me turn this track around. Oh, I forgot I can't do music. Copyright. Okay, anyway, hopefully it wasn't in melody enough to pick up anyway or whatever. Okay, so let's look at this. It's slightly off kilter, so we can fit this one. So I'm gonna leave her in place where I want it to be. Slide that out. And then, oh, I love a pickled red onion. I hate raw red onion. Hate. So then it would go like here. Once I have the place before I stick down, I'm gonna take her out the way. Ooh, another idea I just had, if this could help you, is we drink a lot of tea, and it could have been cute to do some teacups, kind of in the style of the puzzle pieces I did. But you know, I'm sure I'll have many more Christmases with my sister, God willing, so I can always make her that another time. Okay, then this goes about here, do we say? We do say. Love it. Obsessed. That's hers. So we're gonna stick her in a John Lewis envelope. Imagine if it didn't fit. Not funny. Perfect. 2 down, 2 to go. So, just gonna get rid of some of these and put them back in the drawer pile. Oops, sorry. Now this is the pile I got from my uncle, who he gave me a bunch of really nice notebooks and journals and stuff. And he is actually an artist. You might have seen when I was in Seattle, I posted a picture of this kind of like white, red, and green geometric room, and I said my uncle painted this. This is that uncle. So again, let's lay all these out. I kind of just got things that I thought he might like the look of. I didn't really have an exact story in mind. He loves family history and stuff, so I thought that could be cool. And then he this kind of churchy, and he really likes church. He's a priest, I'm pretty sure. He loves traveling. He loves Maine. These were giving me Maine vibes. And then I also had an idea of making this like a house, obviously, and then cutting this out and having something else behind, like maybe the lighthouse in the Maine. I think that could be kind of cool. Ooh, but do we want to do it this way? Although I've done my stamp the other way around. I don't know why. Well, pros and cons, because if I did it after, it could have... Oh no, I guess I wasn't writing here. Nope, should have done it after. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Okay, so... Oops, what am I doing? Do we want it like this? I do think so. Yeah, I do. So I'm going to take this as my first choice. Remember, we just don't have to use everything. It's all good. That could be cool on his inside, as could this. I'm sure he's going to think it's awfully random, but I like it for him. And that's nice. That's kind of cool too. But these ones, got just to go. They will serve another purpose somewhere. So I am actually going to go flush with this for this one. Let's slow down, okay? Because we need to cut this out first. So I'm going to take my cutting pad. Maybe we can zoom in a bit for this. And we can take my blade, which I'm going to tighten. And we're just going to cut out carefully the insides of the window so we can replace them. Just make sure that actually cut. This is not very sharp. So I'm gonna actually take this off, which I've forgotten how to do. Oh God. Let me do this off camera. Completely forgotten how to do that, to be honest. So I'm just gonna use a different kind of knife. And we're gonna take the outsides of this. I like to go all one direction. Really. And then the next, this might not be perfect, but that's okay because I'd rather that than it ripped. How are we doing? Is it coming through? Yes. And then this side. You can do this with any window or door. You could even cut out the entire door, replace it as if it was just an opening. Okay, so we got one. Be really careful holding on to the bit I want to keep as we go. Another one. And I do it this way just so I'm not turning it so much. I don't know, just feels easier to me. There I go, turning it. Oh, got her. And then final square or rectangle, like this. Oh, I don't like how that looks. So I'm gonna go ahead and, this one isn't very clean anyway. I'm just gonna actually zhuzh. And that's pretty good. Okay, we have our little pieces that we don't need to keep this. So I'm gonna take this out the way and we have our little room. Cool. And I thought this one would be cool behind it. Like that maybe? Or with the ocean? I don't really want the lighthouse behind one of the lines. I think, oh, maybe like that. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, we want to know before we stick down just so we don't kind of get muck and glue places. So how we're gonna do this is, we're gonna flip this over and we're going to do the edges just like normal. And then I'm gonna just kind of tap so there isn't too much that could squeeze out. There's gonna be a little, but you know, try our best. What did we decide? Oops, kind of like this, right? Yes, that's perfect. Then I'm gonna stick these down. I'm gonna have more precision with my hands in this particular instance. Okay, and then to preserve, oh dear, I don't know if I glued that one down enough. Oh well, okay, to preserve, I'm gonna flip over and get it all. Nice. So now we're going to put this fully onto our, not a thumbprint, our card. So take this again, and I'm just going to glue down, whoa, the entire piece. Don't need to fill in all the bits. Only things that need to be filled are the corners and very edges. So we'll take this away. And then line this up. And then I don't like to rub when there's multiple layers like that. So I'm going to flip over. Seal this connection. Would anyone be interested in a collage class? It's kind of different to the portals. Let me know. That could be fun. Like in person. Helicopter. So, that's so cute. I love the red and green and blue all together. That's nice. Now we're going to cut the excess off. So I'm going to make it its shape and just go right along the edge. I think that could even be tighter. I'm going at a little bit of an angle. How does that look? I can get rid of that. My fingernail. Make sure I get it in there. Then okay. And then lastly, this side. That's so cute. I love it. I like how they're all different. I'll take them all out at the end actually so we can see them all. And these scraps I don't really feel connected to. So we're going to open her up. And we can put something here. Now, this could be cute because it could kind of be like you're going into the house. I love that. That's probably the winner. Let's just do a... Oh, or this one. I think he'd like this better. So I want to have the same width from the edges to the bottom. So that would mean cropping. I don't really want to crop that so much, but I guess we don't have too much of an option. That would mean like here. So let's take this guy, line up that cut. Wow, Ryan and Parmesan have not joined us this whole video. How rude. Perfect. You know the drill. Turn it over. January 2022, that says. Tell me you're a hoarder without telling me you're a hoarder. I'm not actual hoarder, I'm just excessively sentimental sometimes, but everything has a place, okay? It's my house. Then we're gonna try and line this up. Oops, got a little bit over there on the top. As best we can, maybe squeeze this down a tad. Okay, I don't want to play with it too much more. I think that's fine. So I love the framed picture, I love the beads, I love the chair, I love how there's a background compared to the front image, which is more flat. Great, and then I'll put my messaging there. So cute. So let's clear our workspace and take out our other ones. All quite different, but all nice. So for Uncle and Auntie, who got me all the nice notebooks and the Vogue subscription. Then to Sister, who loves purple and pink and skiing, and we had fondue and did a lot of cooking, and she got me all kinds of things, so there wasn't really a theme aside from those there. And then to my other aunt and uncle, who got me a lovely puzzle, love chocolate, and lots of fun gifts, including an amaryllis that I need to pot. So we're going to put them all in here, and I'm going to write them today, pop them into the mail, and hopefully they arrive soon. I'm filming this on a Wednesday, and we'll be posting it on a Thursday, so they definitely won't have arrived, but if you're... I don't think any of them are going to watch this. I think we're safe. So, thanks for collaging with me. I'm gonna go put all of these back in my drawer and then head to the gym. See you later.